Hello and welcome to your full worm moon reading. So just 2 weeks after the super new moon in Pisces, which has us expanding our awareness into consciously setting the tone for ourselves and the transformations we wish to experience in 2023, the worm moon in Virgo arrives during one of the most energetically profound months of 2023. As the old astrological year is coming to an end, along with many old cycles, including the 3-year cycle of Saturn in Aquarius that initiated the 2020 pandemic. March is the month of monumental energy shifts this year, massive leaps in consciousness, and delivering major transformations to our lives and the world as we currently know it. The full worm moon arrives to us in Virgo on Tuesday, the 7th of March at 7:40 a.m. Eastern Standard Time at 16 degrees 40 minutes. So to see how this full moon affects you personally, locate which astrological house 16 degrees of Virgo falls in your birth chart. And then you can use my astrological house quick reference guide to see what this full moon is illuminating for you in your life specifically. And if you need your birth chart, you can pull up a free birth chart on my website, which will be linked below. So full moons are when the moon has charged to her fullest potency. And after culminating into her crescendo, she begins the waning process of exhaling and recharging her energy for the next lunation cycle. Therefore, full moons either illuminate something in our life that the universe is asking us to take a look at, or it's bringing closure or an end to a particular cycle in our life, depending on how this full moon is interacting with our birth chart. So let's take a look at the energies of this full moon. This lunation, interestingly, occurs at 16 degrees of Virgo, which is one of 7 full moons that are occurring at 16 degrees of their sign. And for those of you who are familiar with the arcana of tarot, 16 is the tarot card. And I bring this up because I feel like it is super relevant for our current events. And once we become aware of it, we will be better resourced in order to consciously create our future. The way I understand the language of the universe is that it speaks to us through synchronicity, coincidence, and metaphor. So when I'm listening to the cosmic energies of the world around me, I expand my perceptions and conscious awareness towards everything, because every interaction I have with the world around me, every person I meet, every situation, every single thing is communicating to me. And that goes for all of us, because the world we live in is interactive and participatory. And the more conscious we become of the patterns, cycles, and energies of the world, the more harmoniously we can align ourselves with these energies. So if we take a look at the tarot card, or the Tower card, it represents a sudden shock to our system that changes our entire world. And I think it's pretty obvious, the shock to our system that all of humanity experienced in one form or another. I don't think there was a person in the modern world that escaped this tower moment on planet Earth. The tower also indicates that all the signs were there, but perhaps we chose not to see them, either consciously or unconsciously. And the Tower hints to us that our focus in life may have been misinformed and misguided. And this blindsiding shock of the Tower is to awaken us to the parts of ourselves that had been suffering from neglect or imbalance. And this would be a unique experience for each of us. For me personally, I had been working 7 days a week from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. for over 6 years straight when I owned my salon in Philadelphia. And I was neglecting my mental, emotional, spiritual, and energetic well-being. And the pandemic of 2020 shook me to awaken me to my neglected divine purpose in life. And for me, my purpose wasn't to simply just earn a living like I had been doing, but rather to make a difference. First, making a difference in my life. I needed to change that habit of being a workaholic. I needed to change my life and healing all of the unresolved issues, both of my biographical issues and ancestral issues that walk with me. Of course, it's so easy to distract myself with work or with pleasure and not take a look at what may be painful to look at or what the universe is kind of pushing me to look at. And that Tower moment of 2020 just kind of put a stop to all of that and said, listen, you need to take a look at yourself and your life. And once I was able to address and heal my traumatic past, I could follow my calling and be a guide for others through their healing journeys, thus changing my life and the lives of those around me. So I feel like the 16 degrees representing the Tower card is more than just a coincidence. It is confirmation from the universe because the aspect that initiated that pandemic is concluding and changing signs with this full moon, ending that 3-year cycle of Saturn in Aquarius. Remember, 3 years ago in March, initiated the lockdowns of 2020. And now we're in March in 2023. Saturn, with this full moon, is switching out of Aquarius and into Pisces, ending that 3-year cycle. And that is opening us up to a new 3-year cycle as Saturn shifts into Pisces. And this is just one of the many major changes that are influencing our world this month with this full moon. So this full moon in Virgo is all about purification, cleansing, and clearing. Virgo is helping us to clear out anything around you that is no longer in alignment with the new you that you are becoming. This includes old self-talk, old habits, behaviors, and patterns, and clearing through your toxic past. We all hold on to a vision of who we like to be in the future. And with this full moon, we need to let go of that baggage that's holding us back. First, we need to let that go first. And Virgo is helping us to do just that. It's helping us to open up our baggage, sort through everything that's in there, and throw out everything that we don't need, and to let it go. Virgo's amazing at that. Virgo energy wants to be of service and wants to help us organize ourselves and our life. Because 2023 is bringing us some major changes, especially this month. And this full moon in Virgo is helping us to prepare ourselves for these big changes represented in the Tower card. If we look at the chart for this lunation, I have it right here. You can see the moon, which represents our deepest inner emotional self, the core of our emotional being, the core of who we are, the parts of us that most people don't have the privilege of knowing. It's our deepest inner self. It's by itself, which takes away from the close proximity and tunnel vision that we can sometimes find ourselves lost in. And it's giving us a more expansive view of all of our current life circumstances. So the moon is taking a look at all of the aspects of our life. It's a very interesting full moon chart. And as always with every full moon, the sun right here, which represents our outer expression, is opposite of the moon in Pisces. And this Virgo-Pisces axis is known as the health axis, which is encouraging us to take a look at our health, our well-being. That means physically, that means mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and energetically. Are we in as good health as we want to be? Do we have the strong spiritual foundation that we want to have in our life? Do we need to heal, fix, or adjust within ourselves or our daily patternings to be more efficient, healthy, and to get our body working properly? Are our energy levels where we want them to be? These are some things to take a look at as we move through this health axis of this Virgo-Pisces sun and moon dynamic. This full moon is our cosmic reminder to take better care of ourselves. Virgo represents the gut, nutrition, and proper balance. Pisces represents our DNA, the immune system, and forgiveness. So these are just some of the places that the universe is directing our attention towards to take a conscious look at. And the Virgo full moon is supporting us by illuminating the ways that we can make positive changes in our life. Because improving our health is the way of the future. As we begin to heal ourselves, heal each other, and heal the environment, it all begins to unfold, and we find ourselves living in a new earth. But it all begins with ourselves first and foremost. Just like they say on the planes, put on your oxygen mask first before helping others. It's the same here. You have to help yourself first so that you are an effective support for someone else. The fact that there are 4 planets in Pisces during this lunation, we have the Sun, we have Neptune, we have Mercury, and then we have Saturn that shifts into Pisces 1 hour after the full moon. So that's 4 planets right here in Pisces. The Sun, which represents our outer expression. Neptune, the planet of spirituality and mysticism. Mercury, the planet of messages and communication. And Saturn, the planet of structure for our physical reality, is really helping each and every one of us to anchor ourselves deeply into the divine universal consciousness. As Pisces, of all the other signs in the zodiac, holds the closest connection to this divine consciousness. So this dynamic of our deepest inner self looking at all of the aspects of our lives, and the 4 planets in Pisces is really helping us to access this universal divine consciousness that we all have access to, so that we have the resources, the foresight, the skills, the power, the abilities to make these changes in our life. There are 7 planets in mutable signs which will be testing our ability to be flexible with change, physically, mentally, and emotionally. How are we with change? Are we able to quickly adapt when something new arises? Because in this master class of adaptability that the universe is asking us to go through, we will be asked to trust our intuitive feelings, our gut instincts, our clair senses over the practical, logical mind. And in this process of trusting our inner authority, our intuition, we will be accessing more of our innate divine powers. And this is a discovery process of how magical and powerful and connected to the divine we truly are, as we learn to consciously weave our future in with these cosmic energies that are influencing our world. This year is a number 7 cosmic year, meaning if we added up all the numbers of 2023, we would get the number 7, which represents the theme for this year, which is spiritual awakening. And it looks like this full worm moon in Virgo will be initiating this spiritual awakening process for the year ahead. So for more profound insight on what the worm moon represents for us, check out my video on the spiritual significance of the worm moon. And for the oracle reading for this full moon, we have conclusions are within reach. Full moon eclipse. So things that may feel out of reach for us, that are unattainable for us, they are within reach. So there's some confirmation to keep moving forward, to listen to your intuition, that everything is within reach once we allow space and time for it to come to us and we actively move towards it. It becomes within reach. So I hope you guys enjoyed this full moon reading, and until next time, bye guys.